Hi guys, my first time doing this AMA. Kamusta kayo? Okay, so you can use the other channel, the text, as a chat box. Nakaka-dinner ko lang, busog na busog. Okay, wait lang kulang tubig. Okay, yun, dumadami na tayo. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Yan. Yan, start tayo by uh, 8:05. Ayos lang ba? In case na may sasali pa. Kung may di pa kayo nasulat na question, you can write it naman. Podcast na podcast. Resorts World Manila. Thank you. Yeah, I bought this mic kasi I do webflow events then. I think mas maganda na maganda yung audio kaysa sa video. Lalo na when watching movies. Mic ko is... Ano nga ba to? Forgot. Hanapin ko. Yan. Wait lang tayo ng 8:05 para mantayin natin yung mga sasali pa. May gusto kayo pahabol na questions, type nyo lang din sa chat box natin. Anything about pricing, niching, or even webflow development. Hanapin ko lang yung sa Lazada yung mic ko. Welcome sa last event ng Graphica Manila. Unofficial. As for now. Yeah, sana maging weekly to or bi-monthly. Like different experts nagpapa-AMA, AMA or tutorial. Hindi ko mahanap yung ko. Yung mic. Okay. Anong oras na? 8:06. Wait lang hanapin ko lang yung mic. Tapos start na tayo. Ayun, nahanap ko na. Ito yung mic ko. Yan. Anyway, start tayo sa questions with Mako's question. Tama ba, Mako? Anyway, so on the spot, you are asked to do some work that you've done before, or a service you think you can handle. Where do you think you should start with pricing? Scenario. Later on in the project, you realize that there's more work to the project than the fixed price you agreed with. What you do? How to handle? Okay. So medyo maraming nangyari dito sa question. But we'll try to break it down a bit. Okay, so yung nangyayari is nag-work ka na, then you realize na out of scope yung price na binigay mo. And may mga ways na handle dito. One way is i-refund mo yung pera nila and send ka ulit ng proposal. Or you'll do talaga yung work na under budget. Yan. Yung para ma-avoid yung way na ganito is you can, for example, nangyari ito madalas sa prod field or advertising field na you can separate the discovery phase dun sa production phase. So, may ibang fee yung discovery phase and bibigyan mo lang ng price bracket si client for the production phase kapag hindi pa nagagawa yung discovery phase. In that way, you can price the discovery, then later on, you'll know how much you can price for the scope of work. Nag-make sense ba yung sinabi ko? Dun sa pricing naman, you can price it naman a bit higher than previous project since meron ng experience with that. And yun naman na you can play with the prices to see if they're saying yes or saying no. Usually, what's good with prices when you're pag tiyataas mo yung presyo mo is you try to get one no out of three yeses. So you can see that there's traction dun sa prices mo. And not only tiyataas mo yung prices mo, but you need to also increase the quality of your work or increase the scope of your work. Yan. Yan. Tell me, Mako, or wala pa si Mako dito. Okay. So, yan. Next question. Kung may question kayo dun sa about sa sinabi ko, you can type it naman or hop in na lang sa call and ask. Yan. If you have multiple fields and have experience freelancing and working with multiple fields and actually have work to show it, how do you organize your folio? And will you rather give up some to focus on one or two fields? Yan. Si the Jess. Hi, Jess. Kaya mo bang magsalita para medyo tayo, engaging? Yeah. I want to ask kasi if there's a way na magiging relevant yung dalawang field.
Hey, what's up? Sorry, medyo maingay yung page ko kasi.
Okay. So, siguro, you can type na lang or if you want to talk. So, ano yung fields na meron ka?
Okay na ba ng voice ko?
Okay lang naman. We can understand naman.
Yeah. Okay. Ano kasi, sa case ko kasi, I think I'm doing like, actually, yung pinag-ano kasi is more of, so do video, tapos may halo pa akong animation and stuff, so parang medyo unorganized yung kumbaga output. Pero overall pa rin yung goal ko kasi is parang building, helping brands create their visual identity. So, parang ganun. Medyo nalilito lang ako paano kung i-organize yung work para much better maintindihan ng clients kung ano yung desired output or ano yung mga possible gawin.
Okay. So, what I heard is brand identity and video or animation service. Tama ba?
Yes,
Okay,
kind of like that.
okay. So, pwede din tong ano, mapunta sa topic na how to niche is, syempre, when we're starting out, marami tayong pwedeng tahakin na path or industries. Yan. It depends naman on what do you want to do in the long term. And for this one, you can actually combine the brand identity and video and animation. For example, you can sa if you're going for brand identity, you can include in your package na logo animation or social media posts na video. And madami pang pwedeng actually video is on the rise ngayon pero mas on the rise yung audio. Pero that's another topic naman. So, it depends on what do you want to do in the long term. Kung mas feel mo ba na brand identity or video person. Because if you want to be an expert in one, uh, you need to stick to one. Pero if you're starting out, I suggest na you can create a portfolio for one and another for another field. Para if you have a client that's looking for a video person, you can show the video folio or a brand identity. You can show the brand identity and saka mo lang i-upsell na, oh, I also do video pala if you want to include this in your in your business. Yeah. Did that make sense ba, Jess?
Yeah, actually it makes sense. Pero actually parang medyo follow up din to question. Would you recommend a joint portfolio like yung multidiscipline na portfolio or dapat ba napansin ko kasi dati nagpipitch ako ng isang project pero may nahalo na example photography or may other stuff na hindi related sa visual identity. Yung yung feel na to rin ng client is hindi na sabi nila, oh, marami nga palang photos. So, hinahanap namin is hinahanap namin is more visual identity. Tapos parang sabi ko, di ba yung first half ng portfolio was all about visual identity. Tapos may nahalo lang ng photography doon. Tapos yun, parang hindi nag-pursue yung client kasi hinahanap na pure lang talaga na visual identity or something. Would you recommend join na portfolio or dapat ba separate?
I would suggest na na separate since madali lang naman gumawa ng portfolio nowadays and maraming ways naman to create a portfolio. And mas clear yung messaging kapag separate yung portfolios mo. Kasi iba talaga yung messaging for brand identity and iba din yung video and photography services. And for those na naghahanap ng segue ko na rin sa niching to, ng work or clients, it's easier to find clients kapag alam mo yung hinahanap nila. And for niching, what you want to do is start muna sa isang skill or service na magaling ka and then try to find or select an industry that you want to serve in. For example, you want if you want video photography and video, you can select naman weddings or intimate events. And kung gusto mo ipasok yung brand identity doon, pwede mong bigyan sila ng package na logo or logo animation or yung iba't ibang collaterals nila like maybe tarpaulin or nasa ko na invitation, yung invitation or yung layout ng album nila. So yun. And it's easier to systematize your process if you selected an industry rather than going with all of the industries that are available. And also, if someone knows you in that industry, they can easily refer you to another one. Yeah. Did that make sense, ba, Jess?
Yeah, I think partly ganun yung problem. Kasi parang hindi ako focus sa some specific industry. Tapos, kasi yung background ko kasi is more kasi yung roots ko kasi is more photography video. Tapos, pinag-aralan ko kasi yung design. Kaya parang medyo confusing kung paano i-merge lahat. So, nothing much better yung destination. So, thank you.
Okay. So there are some cases na you can merge lahat and some cases na you can't. For example, yung background ko talaga is architecture. Pero I don't show naman my clients na, oh, I do archi work. Kasi sobrang awkward naman kasi sobrang walang connection dun sa current work ko ngayon, which is UX UI, di ba? So yun. So you don't really need to to merge everything. Yeah. It's it's better to focus on one path and go for it. And kapag may focus tayo, doon tayo nag-create ng impact. Lalo na kapag for example, yung magnifying glass, if you focus on something, masusunog. Yun lang. Okay. So yun. So move on na tayo sa next question. Yeah.
Thank you.
Salamat. When your pricing is challenged questions by the client, how should you handle this properly? Other than, ox lang, di na ako word. Okay. So I think this is a marketing problem when people or clients that are showing up lower than your budget. It's a marketing problem kasi you didn't show or you didn't showcase or it's not showcase na hindi ka pang masa or hindi ka cheap. Ganun. When we market ourselves, we want to be seen as the expert and be seen as the expensive option, not because we want the money, but because we can provide the value that that more value compared to the price. Yeah. And when your pricing is challenged or questioned by the client, one way to prevent this is create options with your prices. When we're sending a proposal, we send three options like small, medium, large. So, and nakasulat din yung scope or yung value na mabibigay kay client. And yung kaya may three options is hindi na sila titingin sa iba pang competitor or kasi usually kasi pag clients they like to window shop. And kapag binigyan mo siya ng options, parang binigyan mo na siya ng ito na yung window shopping mo, yung tatlong options. They won't look for another option na. So that's one way you can handle pricing challenges. Yan. So give them options para di sila titingin sa iba. Yan. Check ko lang yung current messages. Yan. Okay. So yan. Balik tayo. Yan. Kay Mako ulit. Popular to Pinoy clients asking for discount on your services. Good, bad, workarounds. Okay, this is definitely bad. So, tatanungin ko sa inyo, kapag may pumunta sa inyong doctor, and sinasabi niya, uy, may discount ngayong, ako ngayong Christmas. Avail nyo na. Siyempre, sobrang sketchy nun, diba? As experts, we don't do discounts kasi discounts is a short-term solution for a long-term problem. If you keep giving discounts or if you give discounts, they'll see you na as the discount option na kasi if you give discounts and yung client is uh, kaya niya yung current rate mo, they'll go to another option kasi in a way, if you're an expert, you don't really do discounts kasi you, you need to stay with your price. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, yan. So, yung sa discounts, please don't do it. It's a, like I said, it's a short-term solution for a long-term problem. Yeah. Okay, next question from Prey. Ideal turnaround time for freelancers to research, create a proposal to the client, and how should we price it? Okay, inom lang ako. So this differentiates naman Lalo na kapag may research phase. Depends on the project kung alam mo na or hindi pa yung i-research. Usually, turnaround is less than 48 hours. Kasi with that time, we've already talked to different industry experts on the said project. And like I said earlier, you can price it with three options. And if you want, you can paghiwalay yung research phase dun sa uh, fulfillment phase. Okay. So sa three different options, what you can do is may three different options ulit on how you can vary the prices. So one is yung Goldilocks method, which is it's too low and it's too cold, it's too hot, and just right. So that way you can price it na. For example, the too low option is the base price of the cost plus profit, maybe around half of the price is the profit. So yun, that's the 1x yung too low. And 2x is the yung hinihingi ni client for the project. And dun yung 2x, yung yung napag-usapan nyo. And sa 5x, 5 times nung price is more than enough dun sa project para kay client. Kumbaga, may hiningi siyang project pero may dinagdag kang other stuff na additives in case na kunin nila, edi okay. Kasi kapag may three options tayo, makikita mo kung masyadong mataas yung price mo kapag pinili nila yung lowest option or kung masyadong mababa yung price mo, pipiliin nila yung highest option. And kung tama lang yung pricing mo, yung second option yung pipiliin nila. So yun yung 1x, 2x, and 5x ng prices. And yung another option ng varying pricing is yung might as well pricing. If you're familiar with Starbucks, yung tall venti grande, tama ba? Or tall grande venti. Sino yung mga mahilig sa Starbucks? Tall grande venti ba? Tama ba? Yes, yun. Okay. So yung prices nila, uh, yung prices nila, konti lang yung differentiation, diba? Like 15 pesos, 20 pesos. So if usually hindi ka kukuha ng tol kasi 15 lang yung pinagkaiba dun sa grande. So kunin mo yung grande. Tapos tatanungin ni barista, ay, can, 20, mga 15 pesos lang. So kukunin mo si 20 kasi 15 pesos lang. So yun yung might as well kasi pricing na might as well kasi sobrang konti lang ng difference. They're gonna get the highest price. Yan. And kalimutan ko yung sasabihin ko. So yun yung might as well pricing na you price it na konti lang increments na ano, konti lang increments, kukunin lang yung pinakamataas na price. So that's a way na that pricing you can use if you're starting out pa lang and you want a full project for your portfolio. And yung kaninang pricing na Goldilocks, yung 1x, 2x, 5x, you can use that for if you're medyo busy na sa clients. Yan. And the third naman sa varying pricing is ayun yung sa price din sa McDo. Yun. So yun. So I actually, ayun yung natandaan ko na yung sabihin ko sa Starbucks. Actually, sa venti, hindi na dagdag lang nila is yung milk. Kaya medyo hindi sulit yung milk. Kasi, alam mo, kung gusto mo ng milk, yun, venti kunin mo. So yun, walang dagdag na coffee kapag sa venti. Yun. So yun, milk lang yung pagkaiba ng grande and venti. Anyway, so yun. So yung third varying option naman is yung custom. And sa custom, yun, like the name itself, custom talaga. Yun, ikaw bahalis sa prices na bibigay mo. Can range it na sobrang taas if you're really jam-packed with work para if ever kumagat sila, you can outsource your project. Yan. Okay. So yan. Saan na tayo? Yan, tapos na tayo sa questions ni, ni Mako. Ay, hindi. Tama ba? Yan, si Kipri pala yun. Okay, how do you price yourself, especially if you're just starting out or planning to start out in the freelance industry? There are a lot of ways na you can do this. Pero I think the most safe way is to ask around for different, if you're a graphic artist, you can ask around different graphic artists, or if you're a social media artist, you can ask them around and you can provide as a starting point na lower rate compared to them. Maybe 80% yung price mo, sila 100%. So you can start out with projects. And never work for for exposure, or yeah, never work for exposure kasi wala wala kang makuha sa exposure. If they said na na you'll get exposure with this, uh, ask them na what's quantifiable exposure na they will provide to you, and ano yung gagawin nila, what actionable things that they will do to market you. And kapag nagawa nila yon, may discount sila. But first, ask them for full price payment. And if nagawa nila yung end nila, we'll give them back the discount. So that's the way kung nagsabi sila na you'll get tons of exposure for this. Yeah. Yeah. And if ever you're starting out pa lang, make sure that you know your stuff and you're not just winging it. Maybe do a couple of personal projects for a brand that you like and a brand that you don't like, and something in between. Yeah. Para you can see na you can do your work even if you kind of don't like the project. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Next question. Wait lang. Nilalagyan ko ng microphone yung mga nasagot ko na. Can we also cover creation of contract on how we can also assure our client feels secured about the arrangement? Creation of contract. Okay, so I'm not this is not legal advice yung sasabihin ko, pero may mga contracts don't really prevent you from being sued. And contracts is just a paper that you both agreed with in the project. Yeah. It's a way to align yourselves, the client and you, kung ano yung gagawin or ano yung path or direction ng project nyo. So yan, it's good naman I always try to, yeah, I always have contracts naman. Well, actually, the proposal itself is the contract na mismo. And I'll give you a link. Maybe you can go back to this, yung proposal, kasi medyo mahaba to eh. And medyo, ano, wait lang ah. Yeah. So yan. We'll go back sa contract or proposal creation. Yeah. Going through sales process will be immensely helpful since freelancing is basically solopreneur. Okay, I'll just read first the other questions so we don't skip around or go back and forth with pricing and contracts or sales process. How do we properly communicate price changes to an existing client? Okay, nandito pa siya, si Kurt Lee. Yan. Okay, mukhang wala siya. So,
Yes po.
ayun, Kurt Lee. Dito pala. Iba pala yung picture mo sa, sa Discord.
Yeah. Nag-iba lang.
Can you, elaborate more dun sa situation? How do we properly communicate
Yeah.
price changes?
Yeah, so yung problem kasi about pricing is that, well, I think at the start kasi we thought na we give discounted price kasi nga mahirap talagang panahon ngayon. Pero after that, parang medyo hindi siya receptive kaya tinaasan namin.
Okay, and then hello? Hindi ka namin marinig, Curtly. Hello? Wala pa rin ano. Nawala ka, Curtly. Nasaan ka na? Sorry, Curtly. Di ko alam kung ano nangyari. Pero di ka namin marinig. So yung narinig ko kay Curtly is may they started with a discounted price and tinaasan nila yung prices and di ko na narinig yung di ko na narinig yung the rest. Curtly, paramdam ka sa amin. Ayun.
Hello?
Ayun.
Feeling ko hindi
Ay.
ako si Curtly. Feeling ko yung gusto nilang sabihin is nagsimula sila from discount prices kasi nga due to pandemic. Then
Okay.
after nun, since hindi siya workable for them, for the team, gusto nila magtaas. So siguro yung may tatanong niya is how to communicate the increase in price kapag gano'n.
Okay. So, so when we're increasing our prices, we need to let go of our clients na hindi kaya sumabay sa prices natin. And that's fine naman. And we need to lang to communicate to them that we're moving on with different pricing and help them uh, move on or hand off the project to them. So maybe we can try to find another person or company that they can cater their needs based on their pricing. Yeah, usually when we're working with different prices, we get different clients and that's fine naman. Kasi ganun talaga sa hindi na niya kaya afford eh. So, yun. Nag-make sense ba yung sinabi ko?
Pero paano kapag nakapag-start tapos
Nakapag-start?
nakapag-down payment na siya and all, tapos sinabi na parang yun nga sa part namin parang hindi siya workable na ganun lang yung price, then we have to revise to. Paano namin siya sasabihin?
Okay.
Yun nga yung
So
scenario.
for this one, you can refund the full payment and sabihin mo, uh, our business can handle this kind of project as of now for this kind of payment kasi we didn't foresee the scope of work. Yun. Or you can, maybe if you had the terms in a contract or proposal na if you did this kind of work in this percentage, you'll get paid for this type of work. Yun, kumbaga item prices or scope pricing. Yan. So medyo mahirap and it's not a good way to do business if we don't know how to price our projects. And that's why I think this pricing is this fixed pricing or tama ba? Fixed pricing ba yung project na to? Hello? Nawala yung
Sagutin mo na, Curtly. Hindi ko alam. Hindi ka tayo magkati.
Curtly?
Wait, ulit. Wait, sorry.
Okay. Okay. So yun sa communication with prices. With when we change our prices, we typically prices don't go along to our desired prices. So yeah, so we need to let go naman with them and try to offboard them in a seamless way. Maybe you can help them explain to them that we're doing different prices na and we can hand off to them the project properly or maybe hand off them to a different agency or professional. Yeah. Say with or it is more of a out of scope project na you didn't price it right.
Yeah, gets. And that's what happened, eh.
Okay.
Medyo nagkaroon ng scope creep at saka nung nadagdagan yung presyo.
Okay, so let's talk about
Yeah.
scope creep. Yeah. So one way to avoid scope creep is to learn or know, try to uncover what the business goal or desired business outcome they want for the project. Because if you don't know the desired business outcome, uh, si client kasi may ano yan shiny object syndrome na pag may nakitang ganito, gawin natin to, gawin natin yan, yan. So, if we have a specific goal that we both agreed with, for example, we want to increase bounce rate or decrease bounce rate sa website, we can ask the client, okay, that sounds interesting. How could that help us with our current goal? Yan. So, siyempre si client, di niya masabi kung ano, or if ever, sometimes helpful din si client. And yun yung maganda is may, ano kayo, direction na parehas na tinitignan. So you can avoid scope creep with that way. Yeah. Did that make sense, Curtly?
Yeah.
Or may follow-up question ka ba? I think I didn't answer clearly.
Yeah, it's fine. Medyo ano. Yeah, I know. I get it. Medyo gray area.
Yeah. Okay. So, yan. With pricing, it's uh, we need to, if you don't know, or like I said earlier, na we can separate the discovery phase with from the fulfillment phase or production phase. Para we need to know muna gaano ka laki to or gaano ka tagal yung project or what the problems we're trying to solve. Then we can provide, we need to diagnose muna before we prescribe. Yun. We need to diagnose the problem first before we prescribe para alam natin kung ano yung goal natin. Yun. So, wag tayo muna mag-prescribe bago mag-diagnose kasi sobrang daming revisions nun. And malaking problema. Maraming problema along the way. Yan. So, diagnose before we prescribe. Yan. Magiging doktor tayo. Yeah. And be seen as an expert. Yan. Did that make sense? Okay. I'll, I'll check muna yung other questions. Okay, mga konti na lang yung ano. How do I position? Ito yung kay ano. Cherna Mika. Yan. Hi, Cherna. Yan. Hello, Cherry na or Mika. Mika. Dito ka ba?
Po,
Yan.
dito po.
So how do I position myself in the freelance world if I decided to niche down and my past work doesn't align with my values anymore? Tips for emailing because I feel like creep doing this. Okay, so can you explain more dun sa ano? Doesn't align with my values anymore?
Ano po kasi parang early career din po ako pero I started freelancing since college. Tapos after college, ayun, nagpe-freelance po ako. Parang na-stuck po ako sa freelancing. Tapos gusto ko i-try yung sa company. Then gusto ko mag-niche down either sa branding or sa UX.
Okay. So, ano yung work mo dati?
Graphic graphic designer po. Tapos may konting web. Actually, halo-halo po kasi.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay, let's talk about niching. And think of ano, if you want to, so ask yourself first kung bakit mo gusto mag-niche. And most common answer is you want to be seen as an expert or build authority around yourself. And if you want to niche then, you can command higher prices kasi may kita kang as expert. Yun. And if you want to change careers, you can create a new portfolio. What I did when I shifted from graphic artist to UX or I tried to learn Figma for 2 months.
Kaya po gumagamit po ako
Yeah. So what I did is I posted every day for straight 60 days in Figma, in Dribble para may portfolio ako and maging expert ako dun sa Figma tool. So I can use it tawag doon? I can freely use it however I want. And if your work doesn't correlate with your previous work, you can don't show it naman kasi it will give a mixed feeling or mixed message to your clients if you're showing different things if walang connection yung work mo with your previous work. Like, ako nga,
So, paano ko po siya ilalagay sa portfolio? Parang ilalagay ko ba na beginner ako or kasi ang experience ko po dati graphic tapos production design tsaka sa mural po, mural artist.
mm,
So, paano po siya ipo-position do'n na baka kasi ang tingin nila sa akin yung parang ang tawag do'n, yung entry level na as in wala pa masyadong experience, parang gano'n.
okay. So with different industry fields, if you want to go for a company, you can pick out certain parts of your industry that would help you in your current industry. For example, you said na mural
Hmm,
ka and you want to be a UI designer. You can express your or explain your creativity with you being a mural artist. And as a graphic designer,
hmm,
you can explain that you've done multiple, maybe say na you're flexible with different projects or different brands. And that goes a lot with creating different UIs kasi we cater to different, you will be catering different brands if you ever go into an agency or a company. But if it's a client-based company, meaning hindi kayo agency, in-house kayong designer, will be specifically working on a single brand lang or maybe two. Yun. So if it's a single brand lang, you can you can look at their taste and maybe create portfolios or portfolio pieces based around their brand. Did that make sense
okey.
ba?
Opo.
O may follow-up questions ka ba that I didn't answer?
Wala naman po. Okey
Okay.
na po.
Okay. So sa niching naman, if you want to create or choose a niche, um, think of it as uh, different worlds or different tawag dito, realities sa future. Okay. Okay. So for example, I'm a UX UI person right now, and in 3 years' time, what do I want to be, or what can I achieve in 3 years' time? Maybe I can start an agency with UI, UX, or web projects. And for the different world naman, siguro world number one is yung ginagawa ko ngayon. And world number two is something closely related sa industry ko. Maybe, ano ba, close sa UX UI. Siguro, hmm, wait lang hindi ko maisip. Siguro AI, pero di ako magaling sa AI eh. Pero closely related, siguro kung maging AI ko, edi mag-start ako at the bottom kasi wala akong alam sa AI. And in 3 years time, siguro may medium level job ako sa AI. And yung third option naman, if we're gonna think of a niche, is yung niche na or yung path na pagtatawanan ka ng iba, pero yun yung gusto mo. Yung path na kung hindi ka mag-fail, ano yung pipiliin mong career or job na yun. So that's the third option. And tingnan mo sa 3 years time, kung ano mangyayari sa'yo in 3 years time. Siguro siguro maging YouTuber ako in third option. And what will happen to me in 3 years time. So that you can gauge na what do I want to do, or what are my options right now if I want to do a niche for myself. Because you can do niches in services, skill based or industry based, and you can start naman with a not so big niche or not so little niche, then work our way down to smaller niches. Did that make sense?
Opo.
Yeah. Okay. So yung question mo,
I have a follow up question. Pero
yes,
like for like since we're on the topic of UI design, like
yes.
how exactly do you practice UI design? Like how do you practice using Figma and stuff? Because it's very yung tipong application based.
Okay. So UA design is user interface, and we basically create visual interfaces for different platforms. And how I practice is I just try to copy. For starters, I try to copy everything that I see that I like. So in case na I want this style for a certain project, I can do it quickly and I know how to do it. And I also watch a lot of YouTube videos, YouTube Academy for the win. So yeah. So for dun sa practice ko, basically, sa dribble kasi kapag yung pro account mo nag-deactivate, hindi na makikita yung videos mo kasi pwede lang videos kapag pro account mo. So what I did is I designed landing pages for 2 months straight. And basically, simple lang. I just want to try different styles. I just want to be. I don't want my tools to limit my creativity. So, parang if I want to do this, I know how to do it. Yun. So, para pag may gusto si client na certain style, I can provide to them. Ganun. Did that make sense ba?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you designed like random landing pages or like landing pages for existing websites na parang you just wanted to improve or
Yeah, you can do both actually. So you can try different stuff, try hindi ko kasi mapakita yung dribble kasi naka-hide yung mga videos na post ko. So you can go to dribble and copy others' work. Yan. So for this one, I I solely use Figma. I didn't use Photoshop kasi using in my thoughts, it's cheating if I use Photoshop kasi it's easier talaga in Photoshop. Pero for me, it's easier kasi gamay na gamay ko na si Photoshop and si Figma. Bagong siyang tool sa akin. So what I did is I constrained myself to use only Figma, and I did everything in Figma naman. And yung ibang videos, I did it in parang I animated it sa tawag dito, sa After Effects. So I share my dribble. Konti lang yung makikita nyo dyan kasi naka-hide yung mga mga videos ko. Yan. Pero simple lang naman. It doesn't need to be outstanding. You just need to show that you're capable. Yeah. Did that make sense?
yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. So, yeah. Sa question ni ay kapag may kayo, follow-up questions, just ask me sa voice yan, para we can quickly answer it. So yun sa second half ng question ni Sharina. How tips for cold emailing because I feel like I quit doing this. Okay. Wait lang. Inom na ako. Okay. So cold emailing. Yan. So if you have a niche na, siguro let's say your niche is Twitch streamers or Facebook streamers that have 1,000 followers to 5,000 followers. So yan, basically yun yung niche mo is growing streamers sa Facebook. And if may niche ka na, it's easier to find or to know what their problems are kasi you keep getting them as clients and you slowly build your list of problems that they're trying to solve. So for growing streamers, maybe they're stuck on selling monetizing their business. So yun. So siguro kulang yung stars sa Facebook ganun. So what you can do is try to help them earn more as a streamer. Maybe you can design them merch or design them emoticons or layouts or different ways to help them earn more. So with the niche of Facebook streamers, you can you know the problem that they want to grow and they don't have a lot of income with streaming. Yan. So with that problem, you can message them na I can help you grow your stream more with my services and yan, list mo yung mga values, mga benefits na mabibigay ng services mo. Kasi they don't care about your outputs, they care about their outcome or they care na if tumatama sa kanila yung problem na sinasolve mo. Yan. So yeah, did that make sense, Charina?
Yes po.
Yeah. Okay. So may type secretly, I just want to tile lang this. Yan. You can talk naman curtly. So they care about their outputs. Yes, they do care about their outputs, but more than that, they care more on their business. And if hindi na solve ng output mo, yung business, parang useless yung output, di ba? So, yan. So we want them to realize that there's a deeper problem than giving out designs for merch is we're solving their problem as a growing streamer. Or, yan. And you can do that for different niches or industries. It's just an analogy that we chose Facebook streamers. Yeah. Kasi growing talaga yung Facebook streamers sa Philippines. Yeah, konti lang yung streamers ng Twitch sa Philippines. Okay. Dito pa si Jess. Na-skip ko yung question mo. Paano maging more consistent as a freelancer lalo na pabago-bago ang work and expectations mo per project? So this starts with niching then is you can systematize your process if you have a niche kasi alam mo na yung current expectations ng clients mo and may system ka na and previous experience with your work. So if you niche, you can easily do projects kasi kasi you're getting them frequently. So mas madali kapag may niche ka and mas malaman palalo yung problems nila kapag nag-niche ka. And may yung usual tawag dito, objection ng mga tao na ayaw mag-niche is kukunti yung clients. And sometimes that's correct, sometimes that's not correct naman. But more often than not, it's not correct. You'll actually get more clients kasi people will refer you kasi you'll be seen as an expert in that industry. And if ever man kumonti yung clients mo, you can command a higher price to combat that supply or demand scheme. So kapag mas konting clients mo, mas mataas naman yung prices na mako-command mo because you'll be an expert in that field. So mahirap nga na na wala kang specific industry or skill that you're niching on kasi pabago-bago talaga yung different projects mo. Yan. So sa mga talaga, I think kahit naman sa mga agencies hindi naman sobrang daming iba't ibang pinapagawa sa mga agencies eh. May different specializations naman kayo sa mga agencies as a designer. I work for an events and advertising agency before and may kanya-kanya kaming skills na mataas and mga ibang skills mababa lang. So ako yung parang expert 3D artist and yung iba expert sila sa key visuals, mga posters. Yung iba experts naman sa merchandise, ganun. So kahit sa mga agencies na marami pinapagawa, you still have an expertise in yourself. Yun. So yun. So it's better to niche na to be a general designer. Yun. Nasagot ko ba yung tanong mo, Jess? Ay, wala na ba yata si Jess? Okay. Yeah. How to start? Nice. Wait. Okay. Ay, nag-isang oras na pala tayo. Ang bilis ng oras. How to start getting clients in another city, country if you don't have connections or maybe a better questions. Paano makuha ng tamang client? Okay. So, yun nga. If we started niching, we know na yung target client natin. And it's easier to provide or message them about the value that we can provide them. And it's a good way then to test na we're doing a good job in our service if clients are taken on our services kahit malayo sila. So you can for example, yung Twitch streamers sa ibang bansa, siguro USA, Twitch streamers ng USA, you can ask them or you can call cold message them, connect. Maraming if you're trying to find a specific group, maraming watering holes or Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups that you can find that where they are. So siguro pangit yung yeah, siguro sige, let's stay with the streamers ng USA. You can type in Facebook streamers in USA and marami magpapapap na actually mas hindi pa nga niche yun eh. You can find gaming or different games for streamers and siguro focus ka sa League of Legends streamers yun if that's what you want. So if you have a specific niche, you can see or you can easily find clients that you can provide a service to. Yeah. So yun lang. You can find them, connect with them, and present them the benefits of your project or your service. So if ayaw nila, edi ayos lang. Yeah. And if sometimes we try to niche down too hard and angat lang muna tayo or i-broaden muna natin yung niche siguro tawag Facebook ay Twitch streamers ng USA ng League of Legends na challengers lang yung level account nila. Siguro masyadong niche na yun. Yan. So, yun. Nasagot ko ba yun, yung di ba si Kurtly? Did I answer your question, Kurtly? Okay. So, I just say yes. Okay, so yung yung kay Jim Som naman. Yan. Pag nababasa ko yung pangalan niya, naalala ko yung dim sum. Saan na yan? Okay. So, ng day-to-day as a freelancer, scheduling of working hours. Okay, so with this naman, I do schedule my working hours. And what's important with this is, you know, you set a time when you want to sleep, and you set a time when you want to wake up, and you also set time on when you want to work. And also set a time when you don't want to be interrupted in your work. Siguro ito yung flow moment mo. Try to find it. Mine is ano eh, mm, 8 to 12, I don't want to be interrupted. And also, on Mondays, I don't take sales calls para, yan, kasi Monday eh. And usually, kapag abroad yung clients, they don't call on Monday kasi Sunday pa sa kanila. Yeah. So, also, if you want to be systematized talaga, create systems on your business rather than goals. It's good to have goals, but if you only have goals and wala kang system in your workflow, madali kang ma-distract and madali kang out of track. Ma-distract nga, out of track sa process mo. So, how to create systems? And for creating systems, you just, for example, for website design, you need to write down all of the steps that you do to provide output to a client. So, example, website design. So, tapos na yung sales call, then na-onboard mo siya, and then yung process ko, and then you do research, a bit of research, and get the copy from them, or yung ano, tawag dito? Information architecture, yung siguro lorem ipsum muna, and then may brand, kukunin mo yung brand identity nila. If wala, you ask them for pegs ng websites. So you just list down everything that you do. So may guide ka on how to do your projects. And with that, you can actually time yourself or give estimates of time para you can delegate those times or those phases into your day-to-day activities. For example, for this day, I'll do wireframing to high fidelity, and next day I do handoff project or ganun. So you can, you need to estimate it doesn't need to be exact naman, but it can be exact if that's what you prefer. Yeah. So just set a schedule for yourself and ayun, estimate ng how long this project will take. And also, it's very important that we give time to work on our business rather than in our business. So what does this mean is we kasi kapag we're freelancing, we tend to forget about how to grow our business or our practice. And we don't go about marketing ourselves or making a better portfolio for ourselves or creating a better messaging for our clients. So we also need to do these kind of things para mag-grow tayo as a freelancer. And also, creating networks then with each other para if ever we need help with a certain project, we can easily onboard them in the project para mas mabilis yung project natin. And did that, answer your question? Jim Sum? Okay, yeah. If you guys have, follow-up questions, you can ask naman. Oh, okay. Okay, I just check the other questions. Okay. 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 So I'll go back to the previous questions that we skipped. Okay. Okay, K-Pray, can we also cover creation of contract on how we can also assure our clients feel assured, feel secured about the arrangement? Yeah. So for contracts, tulad nga ng sabi ko kanina, it's not, uh, contracts are not made to make them feel secure. Kasi kahit wala namang contract or kahit merong contract, they can sue us for anything. Yeah. Also, contracts are just a piece of paper that we agree with. Yun. And I think it's better na uh, to avoid clients that doesn't trust us. Kasi doon nagkaka-problema eh. Later on. There are telltale, telltale signs if we want to avoid, or red flags that we, on clients that we don't want to work with naman. And if kaya meron tayong sales call or discovery call or clarity call is to check if we are a good fit for each other. And if they don't feel secured or they don't trust us after that point, we don't need to make habol of them. We don't need to chase them to be our partner in a certain project. Yeah. So we don't need to if they don't feel secure, we can't do anything about that. And mas maraming problem if they don't trust us and we keep working with them. So yeah. So creation of contract usually uh, landing page proposal template lang to. I'll give you a link. This is what I use. Yung proposal template ni Jonathan Stark. Yeah. And if you want, we can go on page per page in that in that proposal. You guys can download that and read through it. And if you want, pag-usapan natin yan. And after all the questions. Yeah. Saan na tayo? Wait lang. Yeah. Okay, I think going through sales process will immensely helpful since freelancing is basically solopreneur. Okay. So yeah, so sales process tayo. Okay. So yung sales process natin, it starts with our marketing. Since in our marketing, kunwari in uh, our LinkedIn page or profile page, we need to fix our profile page para catered siya dun sa target market natin. And andun yung clear yung messaging on who we serve and what do we do for them. So right now, I serve healthcare professionals and I do messaging and bit of branding and website services for them. So yan. So nakalagay doon, I will help them increase the MRR, monthly recurring rate, which is yung parang kita nila every month. So yan, with my services. And with that one, may button doon na to book a call with me. And that will be the sales process. And I don't really want to call it the sales process because we really don't try to sell on a sales call. We try to check if you're a good fit with your with your possible client. Yeah. So if the more we try to sell, the more it looks like uh ano ba? Yeah. We try to make a conversation muna. And yung proposal na mismo, yung parang sales call. Kasi yung proposal, dun na makita kung perfect fit tayo sa isa't isa. Kasi sa sales process, this is the questions that I ask my clients. Basically, ito yung parang tawag dito? High overview ng sales or discovery call ko, which is why this project and why now, why me, yung yung dream outcome nila, dream scenario nila, and yung nightmare scenario nila. And yun, basically yun lang. So why this project? I want to know why they want to do this project, why they think this is relevant for their business, and ano yung nangyari sa business nila. And so for that one, parang kina-qualify ko sila kung they know what they're doing, or they, yeah, kung they know what they're doing. So next one naman is why now? So I'm asking, why is this relevant now? Why do they want to do this project now? Para this qualifies then other options that they are looking. Maybe they've been to a different freelancer before, or they tried different. Yung sa why me option naman, yung why me phase naman is qualifying them kung bakit ako yung pinipili nila. Kasi I'll say na, why me? Kasi expensive ako. Why don't you use a template or an off-the-shelf solution? Why don't you do it yourself? Ganun. So in that way, I'm not working, I'm not trying to sell them to me. I'm trying, well, in a way, I'm trying to sell them to me, pero they're the one making the work for it. Na they're thinking, o nga no, bakit ikaw yung gusto namin? O bakit ganito yung project na gusto namin? So they're sila yung nag-work for you on the sales call rather than you trying to sell yourself to them. Yeah. So it's kind of reverse psychology. Yung next naman is how do we know, or ano yung anong metric yung mina-monitor nila to know that there's an existing problem. Siguro baba yung sales nila, ganun. So konti lang yung page views, ganun. And ano yung dream outcome nila? And siguro dream outcome nila is maging 2 times or 5 times yung page views. And nightmare scenario is, syempre, mas bumaba yung yung page views. And with that, you can gauge na what we can gauge, or we know options that we can do to, that are relevant to their problem. So siguro, konti lang yung lead generation nila, konti lang yung lead channels nila, wala yung hindi maganda yung ads nila. So there are a lot of ways that we can do for those problems. And in those ways, we also know na ano yung gusto nila for this project and ano yung ayaw nila for this project. And yun, after that call, I tell them na I'll send them a proposal with your different options within 2 days. Yan. So that's my sales process. Yan. Helpful ba, Albert? Or do you have follow-up question? Okay. Yeah, right. It's also good to ask them. It's like qualifying them to qualify you. Yeah. So you can learn a lot. Like they use different options before and didn't work. And so you'll know different options might not work with them, or ganun. Or maybe they're a bad client. They've been to 5 freelancers na and you're the sixth one. Ganun. So maybe that's a red flag, diba? Yeah. So yun. Yeah. Yeah. If may ganung client na pumunta sa inyo, don't take that as a challenge na, oh, I can I can make this turn around. Maybe ask the previous freelancers then what happened, so you can gauge if you want to take on the current client. So yun. Okay, nasa na tayo? Yan. Uh, may questions ba kayo na I missed? You can talk to the mic if you want. I'll just check the chat if may na-miss ang question. Hmm. Mukhang wala na akong na-miss na question, I think. Checking. Okay. Ayun, I found the question. From Dan Cristino. What are your thoughts about RFCs when dealing with agencies working with you on a certain project, say for brand messaging? And are they necessary or should they be abolished? Ako, I don't do RFPs. If I know that I'm not tawag dito, I'm not the only one. Kasi when they're doing RFPs, agencies try to choose the cheapest option for RFPs. Yeah, so I don't do RFPs. Yeah, and if you don't, if you want to to work for the brand, I would say na if it's a dream client, it won't be a dream client if they're not paying you for your dream price. And yeah, it's not worth it if you're sure gonna, maybe you can say in the long term you can get uh more clients if you bag them in your client list. Pero for me, it's not worth it. Kasi usually it's harder to work with bigger clients than medium-sized clients. Kasi madaming processes and maraming nagbabago. Laging maybe you'll work on a project and iba yung magte-take ng lead in 2 months and then 4 months ba na naman. So yeah, I don't really try to I don't really do RFPs. Yeah. It's just it's a waste of your time for tawag dito. If you're working for a client that are not financially engaged, it's better to work on your clients that are financially engaged. Yeah. That did that answer your question, Dan? Hindi ba si Dan? Ayun, si Dan. Okay, I'll just check. Do you have a follow-up question? Okay, you're confused on how to deal with RFPs? Okay, let's wait lang sa question ni Dan. Guys, you have other questions, can speak naman para hindi lonely dito sa voice channel. And we can go over the 5 page proposal if you want. Based on experience, to pull more than gatekeeper, you should understand how to drive beyond the RFE. Okay, so it is a bit difficult thing to do kasi why they do RFPs is they want the most value for the buck. And that's why agencies do this kasi they're running a business and they want to save the most and earn the most. That's why don't do RFPs kasi they're just gonna pick the lowest paid and make that person work hard. And one way you can go around it is if you have an inside person. Yeah, that's why I shifted from I don't want agencies na kasi it's all about connections with them. Parang facade lang yung pitching nila just to get ideas from others. Yeah. So, I don't like that kind of environment. Or if you really want to go for it, then why not? Maybe it's a learning experience to yeah. It's really hard to do RFPs. Say first of all, you're not assured that they'll pick you. Second of all, they just take your idea and run with it. It actually happened to dun sa agency namin before. Yeah. And I won't tell the story na lang para yeah. And yeah. And it's really hard to go past the gatekeeper if that's their process na they do RFPs talaga. Kasi that's what they do eh. It's kind of a bait and switch. So yeah, don't do RFPs na lang if you don't want that to happen to you. Yeah. Okay, so yes, you don't have control sa ideas so if you give them for free. That's why I work with your clients na lang that are financially engaged rather than chasing for those who aren't. Okay, typical red flag indicators for clients. I think everyone can pitch in for this one since we've done, I think we all have one client that we hate. So, yeah. Okay, so typical red flags is if they have more time for you than for their business, they keep on. Actually, you can't really know this one in this instance na say what you want is a client that has uh, that are engaged more in their business than with you. You want clients na hindi yung yung mga helicopter clients na lagi nandyan, yung mga hovering clients. Yung parang kulang na lang hawakan nila yung kamay mo para dun
Mm.
sa edit. Yeah. So you don't want clients na pala message. Pag mahaba yung email nila, that's a red flag. Kapag maliit-liit lang and let's up in a call, you want them to to you want to look for clients that value their time. That's where they're getting you kasi they don't have time to do this. They want you they want to save time na ikaw yung hard nila. Yeah. Yeah. Sino gusto mag-share sa red flags for clients? Pag pinalikan nila yung logo. Okay, for that one, what you can do is kasi we don't really see logos in a white background. Like, pumunta ka sa labas, bihira mo lang makita yung logo in a white background, di ba? So what you can do is do mock-ups instead. So yun yung highlight nung maybe presentation mo rather than the logo on a white background. Yeah. Pero pwede din pakita yung first ito yung unobstructed version then. These are mock-ups. This is how we look in a cap, on a ball pen, on a letterhead. on an envelope or poster or a billboard. So in that way, they can see how flexible or the variance of the logo para ano, hindi lang sabihin na laki yan yung logo. Pero maybe they malabo lang mata nila kaya yun, they want to enlarge the logo. Yeah. Yeah. Let's be we need to ask the expert. We need to educate them on how things are. May kwento si Prey. Yes. Ano kaya yun? Yeah. Price tweezers are definitely red flags. Yes. So price tweezers, if they're they want the lowest option. If they're not around your project, you should have a minimum engagement fee. So, for example, less than 100,000, I won't take a project. So yeah. So if they're beyond your minimum fee or less than your minimum fee, don't take them. Refer nang to others na will happy to be engaged with them. Okay. They say ang mahal mo, ikaw. Joke. They say ang mahal mo. Yes, mahal. I'm expensive. Yeah. You don't need to justify why you're expensive. Just say, yes, I'm expensive. Yeah. So in that way, you can really weed out who's willing to engage with you or not. Kasi they will only make a transaction if you if they can see a bigger value than the price that you're offering. Yeah. And it's not unethical to price high if they pay for it. Kasi think of it yung pesos na sa Instagram like. So it's like an appreciation for your service. Yan. So ganun nila kamahal yung service mo. Kaya mas taas yung price mo, mas taas yung appreciation nila. Kung inaccept nila, hindi nila masyadong appreciated yung project for them to take on it. Wala silang business case for that if masyadong mahal. Or maybe they're just not in the right uh, budget range or price range for you or them for you. Nakalimutan mo sasabihin eh. Anyway, you guys can ask questions naman. And just drink them. Okay. Service when to choose sacrifice. Wait lang, I'm trying to look around the questions. Maybe if na-miss akong input. Okay, yan. What are your thoughts on clients that want you to repeat a project? Haven't experienced this, but baka meron sa'yo. What do you mean repeat a project? Right? As in, medyo di ko gets eh. Kasi if you've done the project, why do you need to repeat it?
Like, start over kasi parang they don't know what they want. Tapos biglang, oh, hindi pa, we don't want that pala.
You don't want that? And
Like, we
price them for another project. Kasi if they agreed to work this way, or are you talking about revisions or totally new project.
Yeah, like in terms of revisions, like pinascrap sa'yo.
Okay, so for revisions, you can incorporate in your uh, project or services that there are phases in your projects. For example, this strategy phase, wireframe, then high fidelity, then development. So in those phases, you can ask them or you parang may meron kang locking system na if we're gonna move on this, you can't revise anymore or we'll charge you again for that phase. So you can give 3 revisions for phase and siguro more than that, you can add another price for another revision on that phase. So you're not you can see or you can gauge how much per phase is and ano yung willingness nila to do the revision. And also, we need to set our process para konting revisions. That's why we have discovery phase para makita yung options natin. And si client mag-choose ng option na gusto nila. And if they want to do those revisions, let's ask them why they want those revisions kung pasok dun sa goal na gusto natin. And this won't work if sa implementation stage ka. For example, ikaw yung taga-develop or taga-design. Kasi if you don't handle the strategy phase, si client nag-handle ng strategy, sila paiba-iba yung gusto nila. So what we can do is, yun nga, price them for phases, have prices for different phases. So, so may total value ka, then you can chop it out to different phases and have them 3 revisions per phases. And if na ganun sila, tawag dito, they want this one for this project phase, you can email them and na uh, if he if happiness sila sa phase na to, we can move on and lock out this current phase. So yeah, so pag sabing yes, alright, sabi mo you just need a yes from you to move on to the next phase. Sabing yes, ano yun, lock out na sila sa previous phase, nasa next phase na kayo. So if they want to go back to that previous phase, you can charge them that price kasi you have agreement. And with this phasing strategy, you can talk to them with this on the onboarding sessions para they're familiar na we have 3 revisions for phases and if nalakaw na, we're gonna go back to that phase and start all over again. Na malinaw ba? Medyo magulo yata yung kasabi ko. Right? And gets and sila. Yeah. That it happens if you tawag dito? If you're not the strategy person on that project, they have the strategy and not you. That happens a lot kasi they don't know what they're doing. And so it's usually good if you parang don't take on projects without strategy na you'll do the strategy for them. Kahit na may strategy na sila, you'll do the strategy for them. Yeah. Pero paid strategy, not free strategy. Yeah. So para align kayo and ikaw may handle dun sa manibela ng project, hindi si client. Yan. Set na agad sa start before sa project kung ilang revisions. Yes, yan. Check. What if planning to start pa lang as freelancer? How will I know the standard rate or price? Like, di ko alam kung mahal ako or siya ang mahal. Diyos. Or masyado mang mura pricing ko. may standard ba na pricing for certain services? Wait, yung KJ muna kasi medyo aligned dun sa previous question. Is it ideal to say na unlimited revisions ka kasi starter ka pa lang? Okay. Siyempre, no. Ano yun? Magiging slave ka ni client kung unlimited revisions. Pwede kang gawing ng service mule ni client if unlimited ka. So don't do that. You can say naman na limited revisions, then siguro certain price for this for another revision. Ganun. And that way, you can naman it's not gonna kung gusto niya unlimited revisions, that's also a red flag. Yun. Alis ka na doon, wag mo na siya kausapin. Usually, agencies do unlimited work kasi the client pays so much more na it covers those unlimited revisions. Basically, parang yung iba, retainer sila. So, every month, may bayad sa kanila. So, kahit ilang gawin mo, kasi ikaw, full-time worker ka lang, kahit ilang gawin mo, hindi naman tataas yung sweldo mo kasi unlimited yung So, yun. So, usually, yun yung nangyari sa mga agencies na unlimited. Yeah, you can, basically not, for agencies kasi, they do it in a month-to-month basis. Hindi siya fixed pricing. So, ikaw din, month-to-month ka nagtatrabaho sa kanila. Edi hanggang nandun si client, nagbabayad sila, nandun ka pa rin, nag-work sa kanila. Parang lang, patagalan kung sino matagal. Hanggang mag-resign ka, yung papalit sa'yo, mag-early revisions din. Okay. Yeah. So, don't do early revisions lalo na if you're freelance. Well, yeah, don't do early revisions. Maybe kung retainer, kung subscription-based ka, tapos mataas yung price and may clear understanding kayo na one revision will take 1 week. Yung ganun. Sige, kung sobrang taas naman ng presyo, di 1 week for one revision. Hindi yung 1 day, one revision. Ganun. Maybe in that case, that can work. Ganun. Okay, so sa rates muna. Wait lang, ako lang tubig. Ubus na yung tubig ko. Okay, so yun. Yeah, thirsty. Anyway, it's pricing na tayo. Standard rate of price. Okay, for this one, wala naman, there are standard prices pero I don't look at those naman. What you want to do is to know for example, social media post or social media strategy. It won't work if you do hourly billing for this and don't do hourly. What you can do is, yan, ask around sa, yeah, it helps in that you can, check the internet and see what's the good starting price. And what's more important is we need to be aware of ourselves on how much are we willing to work for certain stuff. So, for example, you'll do social media strategy and execution for 6 months. So maybe you can price that. Uh, gano ba, if you're gonna price that, so gagawa ng 6 months and planning for 6 months, maybe you can do that a monthly pricing para di ka, di ka tethered sa kanila. Yun. And what you can do is know your expenses, kung magkano ba yung gastos mo sa isang buwan and magkano yung luxury expenses mo. Basically, kung magkano yung gusto mong monthly sweldo. And if you're gonna work for, maybe you're gonna work for this for 1 month and konting hop in na lang every month. So, in 1 month, magkano yung gusto mong sweldo. So, that's gonna be your base price. And, for example, gusto mo, 40,000 per month. Yan. So, that can be, a package for 6 months. Then, konting hop in na lang in the other months kasi mostly the work is done with the first month. Yan. So, for that one naman, yan, so starting price. So, ma it's not it's not, there's no definite price na you need to follow. You need to work lang with what you can do and what you can give value to the client. And for sure naman, well, not for sure, pero if you can find clients that are medium size, if you think of this way, count kung ilan yung employees nila and multiply that kung ano yung average salary nila. Siguro 30K. Siguro yung isang company may 20 employees tapos 30K yung average price ng isang employee. 30K times 20 is 600. Tama ba? 600,000. So, yan. So, sa isang buwan, 600,000 yung pinapasweldo niya sa employees niya. And if you're gonna work for them and yung work mo is 40,000 yung price, tapos you're gonna do that for 6 months, sobrang, sobrang sulit kay client yun if you're gonna put it in that way. So, you don't need to, to do it in that way, pero you can do a lot of ways to know how much yung kinikita ni client, or at least kinikita ni client, to check how much you can gauge your price with them. And it's not it's not a definite price naman. You can play with prices naman. Yeah. So that's why it's good to to give 3 different options to your clients para you can know if you hit the right spot. Basically, what you want is for them to get this middle option. Kasi if they pick the lowest option, it's your price too high, and if they pick the highest option, your price too low. So that's also a gauge if you're right with your pricing. That's, yeah. Did I answer your question? Saan yun? And Junana. Yeah. Yeah. Okay na okay. Yeah. Yakult. Yeah, pala daw si Cardo, nagpapa-revise pa. Yeah. Also, uh, you can, ano, go back to those daily tips na binigay ko and ask me about if may nagugulan sa inyo. Or maybe share your favorite dun sa daily tips natin. Yeah. And re- I just remember that I said na ask for 100% upfront. So asking 100% upfront for the price is not a way to it's also a way to get 100% upfront, but more so it's an option to provide a client a way to negotiate. Kasi instead of the price that we will negotiate in, they will negotiate in the 100% upfront. They don't want the 100% upfront. You can ask them, what do they want? So maybe they'll say 30, 30, 40 or 50, 50. So that's just a way to, instead of the price that they will negotiate in, that's an avid, that's a medium for them to negotiate yung 100% upfront. But more so than that, they'll take the 100% upfront. Kasi, uh, tawag dito? Kasi sa lahat naman ng bagay na binibili natin, mostly 100% upfront yung binabayaran natin. Hindi naman pwedeng samang inasal. Bayaran ko muna kalahati, tapos mamaya na yung kalahati. Diba, hindi naman gano'n. So, mostly 100% upfront yung binabayad natin. So, yan. Just reading through the comments. Okay. First, pa-recap. Actually, di ako nag-notes to. Siguro yung, sino ba may notes? Yun, maybe they can share their notes. I'll try to, maybe, do a run through around it. Up to what time nyo ba gusto? Maybe 10 o'clock or gusto nyo bang extend? Kaya guys, bahala. Yeah, if the project is so big, it's, you can ask them 100% upfront. Pero parang it's a bit of a red flag kapag they take it na 100% upfront kapag sobrang layo ng project. Ganun. Pero yan, it's also a good way na, to gauge. Yeah. Pero don't do work unless may initial payment or may payment. Yeah. Try nyo lang yun, 100% upfront. It's just an avenue to negotiate. It's not set in stone na you need to get the 100% upfront. Parang love lang. Chris, ibigay ang 100%. Ouch. Yeah. May hugot yun eh. Tamang toothbrush lang. Habang nakikinig sa podcast. Okay, let's go to the 5-page proposal. If you've downloaded it, uh, it's here. run through it ng mabilis. Maybe let's end before 10. Yan. So, I'll go to it. I'll kind of describe what it's in. Yan. So, yan. So, first page, nandito yung cover letter. Basically, ito yung napag-usapan nyo, and you're saying na the price that you're giving is a fixed price, and it's not an estimate. Kasi sa ibang service providers, they charge something, then they'll charge more if nag-extend or something. Pero that's not really a good way to work with the client kasi papangit yung relationship if may parang hidden charges or something. Yeah. And also, you said here na you'll kukulitin mo sila in 3 days if di pa sila nag-reply. Yan. And also, you're open to revise the code or the paper if may mali sa paper or gusto yung may revise dun. Yan. So, kunwari, gusto ni client ililista yung mga scope nyo. Ganun. Yung second naman is yung napag-usapan niya sa sales call, yung current business ni client and yung desired niyang business state. So basically, konti lang yung sales nila, gusto na tumaas, ganun. So, you can say na mag-earn sila ng 2 million pesos. Pero lang yun, tawag dito? Not guaranteed. Pero parang lang, what you believe. Yeah. And next naman is yung project options. So for the first option, put the highest price option, and you'll put the features or deliverables, then the benefits of those deliverables for their business. And that's gonna happen then in option 2 and 3. Okay. And so that's pages 2 and 3. So for page 4 naman, we'll put in the risk and assumptions if lang you'll assume na everyone will send their project materials on time, mga ganun. May risk na baka, ano ba? Basta mga simpleng lang, bagay ng mga hindi clear sa project or anything like that. Para you're aligned with the client. Kung ano yung kaya mong gawin and hindi. Or kasi hindi naman lahat ng project straight line eh. Mostly parang yan, taas baba. So there are a lot of risk, concerns, and risk. Assumptions, concerns, and risk. And why us? Yun, basically, napag-usapan nyo na kung bakit ikaw yung pinili. And you can say na, yun, I'm the niche expert in this one. I've been working this one. And, yun. Basically, madali lang naman eh. I-fill up mo lang yung paper. Terms and conditions, yun, terms mo. And you're gonna list your prices. Then they're gonna check the blank option kung anong option yung pinili nila. Tapos with their signature. So, it's important that in this 5th page, they can see the prices and the options para yun. Kita na yung presyo, tapos they're gonna signature in it. Yun. So, align kayo sa gusto ni client. And also, it's important rin na this quote is good for 14 days, yung option na yun. Yung sentence na yun, kasi you don't want them coming back in the future. Bakit? Di ba kaya? Sure, the client is right. Kaya naman. Okay, so 4 minutes or 3 minutes left. Tips for bro? Yeah. All right. Summary. Okay, so let's go back lang. Summary. May nag-notes ba? Can you post your notes and summarize it lang doon? Yeah. Save me. So, wait lang, hindi ko kaya. Okay, so summary. I'll try to do this. For pricing, you need to know your base cost and put a profit margin on it, also buffer, and that will equal to your price. And you need clients will only pay you if they can see that the value is higher than a price. The value that they are getting is higher than a price. Tapos, ano pa ba? Niching. It's can command higher prices if you want to niche. If you niche, you can command higher prices, and you'll be seen as an expert or yeah, an expert in the field. Tulad nung ano, if you notice me giving daily tips, that's a way of building authority or trust to others. Basically, you're giving valuable advice to others. That's why umattend kayo dito kasi you see na valuable yung tips na binibigay ko. So that's a way of building authority on the field. Yeah. And ano, type naman yung mga ano, yung mga natutunan nyo. Help me guys. And give options for pricing. Uh, yeah. Don't give one price lang. Have ways instead of the price being the negotiating factor, create ways to for them to make negotiations for like yung 100% upfront. Yeah. Don't make habol the clients. Yes, please don't. Sasaktan lang kayo. And ano pa ba? Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to say ano. What you do is not mm, who you are. You are not what you do. You are more than that. Yeah. You're very more than that. Your outputs doesn't describe who you are. It's more of the relationships that you build with. And pricing is not the important thing in negotiations, but we're we are as designers, we are in the service industry, and we're not here. We shouldn't be here for the prices. We should be here for the service that we provide our clients. For example, dun sa example natin kanina na Filipino Twitch streamers that we do graphics for them. We're not if you're doing that for them, you're not a graphic designer per se, but you're a growth partner. Parang ganun. You're not what you do, but you are ang hirap explain. So guys, don't get fixated on what you do, but on what you serve others with. Yeah. So yeah. So pricing is not everything. Yeah. Yeah, hindi ako magaling sa ano eh, sa copywriting. Pero I try to be. Yeah. That's why you guys are not don't settle for less. Don't settle for those that can't see your value or those that doesn't align with your value. So yun, anyway, type nyo lang yung mga ano, yung mga learnings nyo or ever you have questions, can ask naman sa ano, sa Ask the Professionals. I think that's it for ano, tonight. Kung may nag-notes, please share it na lang. I think I recorded this session, pero I'll check if gumana yung recording ko. I'll try to share it in the future. Yeah. Yeah, don't do discounts. Discount is a short-term solution for a long-term problem. Yeah. Yes. Yan. And I hope you enjoyed tonight. Yan. Actually, first time ko lang talk about pricing and negotiation. I think there's really a need for Filipino creatives to know pricing. Kasi ako, wala talaga akong alam sa pricing before. And really, it's really hard part for me to do negotiations. And I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. Yan. Pwede tayo manood afterwards if you movie night. So yun. Anyway, you guys can go na and yeah, I'll be here lang if you have questions.